Grand Rapids Rock Alternative 97.9 GRD, hanging out here in the studio again for another Ned the Metalhead interview. I've got a very big band on the line right now, especially with all the shit going on in their lives. I've got John Campbell from Lamb of God. How's it going, man?
Going pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad. I just woke up about 10 minutes ago, so I could definitely go for some coffee.
Man. Must be nice.
It's a first for me. Usually I'm up at like 5 in the morning, but today I actually got to sleep in a little bit. So.
Oh well, congratulations, then. I'm on your team with getting up early in the morning. So
yep.
I applaud your abilities to sleep in today.
Good stuff, man. Lamb of God, of course, starting a tour in just a little bit, of course, also featuring In Flames, Hatebreed, and Hellyeah on selected dates, and Solosis. The tour making a stop here on Grand Rapids, Michigan on December 3rd. How did everything get rolling on this tour?
Well, we had to cancel our last tour,
Mm-hmm.
so we once we had a more solid footing in knowing where our singer was going to be, we decided to put a tour together and get out there on the road and get out and finally tour the U.S. for this record that came out in January.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. You guys, obviously, like you said, had to cancel that tour, which was going to make a stop. And, man, I was so angry when I heard when it had to be canceled. I was so pissed.
Yeah, I can imagine. You and a bunch of other people who had tickets at that point.
Definitely. We all understand, though. I mean, obviously, because of all this situation. And, of course, you guys were going to tour with Death Clock. How come you didn't bring them along on this tour? How come you didn't kind of resurge it up again?
Well, the way that it all works out is that it comes down to all of these tours are planned months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And so, by the time we were able to know that we could commit the time and we're putting together the package, Death Clock had other things going on and were not available.
Right, okay. Yeah, because they even have their own tour going on in just a little bit, which is...
Exactly.
Yeah, so everyone's rocking back, going out again. But even if, you guys have some pretty big-ass headliners on this show for sure, like Hatebreed and Hellyeah. I saw that and I went, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, it's they're all great friends of ours also, so it's gonna be an intense tour. We've toured every band or played shows. We played some shows with Solosis, and we played some festivals with Hellyeah. But we've toured with In Flames and Hatebreed a number of times all over the world.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a great tour for us. We are going to be bringing our A game with playing some Resolution for people live here in the States.
Definitely looking forward to it, man. Of course, again, like I said, stopping by here in Grand Rapids on December 3rd. Tickets are available now. Of course, the biggest news in the band being the recent incarceration of your vocalist, Randy Blythe. How are things kind of going with that now?
Well, it was great to get him home. We're excited to go out and do this tour. And at this point, we're just kind of in a holding pattern, waiting to see what the authorities over there come back with, whether or not they want to continue this process or let it go at this point. I'm not really sure. By the end of the year, we should know what happens next.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and also, too, with that whole show and everything like that, how do you think this will affect the band in the long run? I mean, I guess, how will anything change?
That completely remains to be seen. But as far as how it's changed us at this point, it's definitely not going to change our show in any way. I think
right.
It was an incredibly tragic event, but I think it was kind of for all the shows we played and all the shows I've been to and all the stages I've jumped off of and my friends have jumped off and people I've seen jump off, this is definitely not that common of an occurrence. So it's kind of a really freakish, tragic thing that happens.
Right, man.
We're gonna continue to deliver the heavy metal that we do on stage. Part of the show is the crowd getting into it with us, and that's something that is really, it's amazing because that's the point of art is to connect with people with what you're doing. We're not going to stop doing it anyway. What we do, just go out there and perform and be your best, and damn the man.
Damn straight, man. Also, too, I was actually reading an article in the most recent Revolver magazine, and they had this huge article saying, I guess asking the question, are heavy metal shows way too dangerous? I mean, I guess how would you kind of respond to, I guess, the crowd and mosh pitting and wall of deathing? And, of course, because obviously you guys have kind of witnessed it, and I guess that whole thing. I mean, how do you kind of respond to that?
Not even witnessed it. When I was a kid, still flexible and made of rubber. I was out there doing all that stuff also.
Right.
So I completely understand the sentiment. At this point, I prefer to be performing. If I'm at a show and there's a pit going on and I don't want to have anything to do with it, I won't be near the pit.
Right, man. I will say, too, even like you even said, just the fans reacting to the music kind of thing like that is really what it's all about. Even when I'm on stage and I do like I guess you could say a stage announcement, just seeing people react is just, it's a sick feeling, man. It's like intoxicating.
Sure, but it's true across the board for all forms of art. You know, it's about connecting to that audience, and then that audience, in some way, you know, bringing themselves, connecting with the art piece on a deep way that affects them emotionally.
You know, and also too, Randy recently set up an eBay account featuring Lamb of God memorabilia, and even guys from Five Finger Death Punch offered some items up for sale. Have you guys reached your goal on that, or where are you guys at?
Well, we were very happy with the results of the auction to raise money for the legal fund. Depending on how this thing goes, this legal fund could easily be 10 times of what we were able to raise. So, you know, it's still, the future still remains uncertain, and how we're just trying to prepare for everything that we can, and you know.
Yeah, just definitely right now, just focusing on the tour, focusing on the music, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, well, the auction I thought was great. I have 2 basses that were my main basses that I auctioned off. So these are like real pieces from the band. And I auctioned off. I commissioned Dave Rocky, the singer for Guar.
Oh yeah,
to do a painting for me. So a portrait that he painted of Odorous impaling me on a sword with Flatus hanging out drinking a beer. This is
I would not expect any less from Odorous, honestly.
Yeah, well, no, that's definitely his style. He slings his art online all the time, and he's got a very distinct style.
Definitely, and a very interesting man too. I actually interviewed him about around 2 weeks. He talked more about his penis than anything, but what are you going to do? It's nothing out of the ordinary for him. And they're actually, those guys are on tour right now with DevilDriver too. So
yeah,
obviously you guys just released a new album around this past January. Are you guys planning on? I mean, I know a lot of stuff going on right now, but is there any chance of new material being written on the road or anything like that?
Sure. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that in this bit of downtime we found ourselves in, Mark and Willie have continued to be creative and do writing at home. They both have little studios set up at home for demoing out tracks, and that's basically how Resolution came together. So yeah, I imagine depending on how the winds blow in the future for us, we will definitely have material, and our plans at this point are to, once this tour cycle is done, our plans are to record another record.
Kick ass, man. Looking forward to it for sure. And I just thought of this actually. Going back to the whole thing with the whole recent incarceration and whatnot, obviously that's still a pretty hot topic. Scott Ian from Anthrax said that, you know, even with his band, Anthrax, going into the Czech Republic, he said that there is no chance, because of this whole thing with Randy, that there's no way that Anthrax will ever play the Czech Republic again. Is that kind of the same situation, since you guys were kind of the forefront of that?
As far as us playing the Czech Republic
right,
again?
Yes.
I can imagine that we will never play the Czech Republic again.
I could imagine so.
and there have been other bands. Terror canceled a show on their tour in the Czech Republic, but
yep.
Other friends of ours in bands have gone ahead and played shows in the Czech Republic. I'm not sure if they happen at the same venue anymore. I really hope that place is closed.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, you just can't go back after all that shit, you know. Is there anything, of course, in the coming future, anything that you'd like the fans to know? I mean, obviously with the big tour going on right now, I mean, anything that you want them to know.
Lefty loosey, righty tighty, man. You know that. Your head is good in the game.
Good stuff. All right, thanks, John. Of course, Lamb of God are going to be stopping by here at the Orbit Room in Grand Rapids on December 3rd, of course, with Hellyeah, Cirrhosis, and In Flames. Tickets are available right now. John, man, it was an absolute pleasure to hear from you, and I cannot wait to go check out this tour.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me.
All right, brother.
All right. All right, man. See you later. And this is Ned from Grand Rapids Rock Alternative 97.9 GRD.